Abo nonsia me mayahwefo nyina kye makwa aba de ba XTV eso enne ye branda enne ye kotani mabosom ni de to se edu e wa fempimie ne aduonu mienu no emo emraso sensem a ekoso e wo ye man mo ne amahodo sensem ya bo aba ne nyina no sa no pa nonsia kase a ye de ebre kaseboi efrin kramponi mantemu poko ase festos adom pesa building mo enne ye hye sanso sa wokopie mo e wa befo tintan kase no so dia Facebook e ye XTVGH YouTube e ye XTV Ghana TikTok e ye XTV 391 in sama hodo amede bro enanope edoso yankasa na poso ne bi ene se wo mampani abedi akire ahaji Dr. Mamudu Bawumia wose bosha aban ehye Ghana fo nyinara so obehwe ma wabo mo ho ban na bibibia etimi akonkan ede ama Ghana fo no wedi sa boshe ne so emuchiremo obete ewakase eso sanso NPP amanyoko no wo mo abato a ekoso na wotwe wieye ne na wotwe twe mu ne nyina no eyade a wokopie mu ewo Upper West eye constituency honum dia eye dwemtremfo edi mamanyoko no ewo maako nsia me no kase yetu wo mo toase eye akonwa emuchiremo nso obete ewo kase eso na eye wopani Stephen Opuni anampo se Reverend Dr. Opuni wode nsembia baba todwa wo chiremu sem amanfo bi ekeka sai ena wo man no corruption na ekoso no Christopher nso doso na so corruption ekoso ewo man no mo wo chiremu sei sanye ma ya ewo mo kike nyina no enye no kra Christopher no wo mu ye o mafem die se na tie se fata ankasa na wo man na ankasa eyare emu chiremu obete ewo kase eso nsem bi kan we hu ena me de bro se anopa no nsia kase abrame oba pa me visa kosi atemi de kase ebrewo ma me twa me homra me ba me de kase boy emu chichemu ankasa ebemo. Akwaba ediba XTV anopa no nsia kase eso na ye hyansem na sedia na wotwi awieye eye wo mampani abedi akira haji Dr. Mamudu Bawumia boni homodin wokopie mu ewo sukulai no ewo Abrekuma South mensen me kramponi mantem heya na ye kiremu a eye police station headquarters kese pa eno mwetimi esia omakwako bia no fefefe etimi ede ama police adom na ewo honom so omonhwe no monfa mbo oman no anapo se ebeso asofo no yemfa bo mu ho ban na wonna wo mayo wadwen se je se enyade ombehwe se mra be yedwuma ewo oman no no emra no obedi se na se fata ankasa na abra eye ahaji Dr. Mamudu Bawumia ekopie mu ewo honom no enye ono nkwa ene koye police adom eye IGP Dr. George Ekufu Dampare wono so ekopie mu ewo honom abra wo mo epa hontuma wo mo twa hamemo edi police station edi emma womo ewo honom no wono nso ekasai IGP George Ekufu Dampare wakasai edi nsemse etudwa.
It is with a heart of good that I welcome His Excellency the Vice President to today's commissioning of this police station and a district headquarters, and also to assure him and the good people of this country that we will use the facility to deepen policing in this country and ensure that we continue to keep our communities safer today than yesterday and tomorrow than today. And also, whilst we appreciate this effort from our brother, Dr. Lord Comey, we look forward for such gestures from other well-meaning individuals and corporate bodies to complement the excellent effort that government is making in resourcing the police service in ensuring that we keep the peace. It is with
na wono kasa wie pepepe oswafo no ena hwe amenwe ho nsem so interior minister eyonyonyam ni Ambrose Derry wono nso ekasa ye no wo twem se ehu behia pa se etimemufo eni post for no wombeye baako omodo mutuma bebo mutuma no se na be ya ebetimi aboa post for no na information sa hodo a wo mo hia no metimi edi abokro no ho ban anabo se oman no ho ban no etimi edimu.
The agenda is also to call for the collaboration and cooperation of all citizens. And we've had a number of them coming forward to give support, such as buildings, one of which we are going to have His Excellency the Vice President commission today. And for that reason, I would like, on behalf of the council, to thank the police for the intelligence they continue to give the police, which is increasing because of the increased confidence in the police. The agenda is also to call for the collaboration and cooperation of all citizens. And we've had a number of them coming forward to give support, such as buildings, one of which we are going.
And wechi omampenya be diechire Haji Dr. Mamudu Bawumia wono so ekasa ye no wakasa na jese wono kasa wie pepe na jese dwumede ni nyina etimi abewie ni kasemo na wode atodwa se aban we wo shega na fobo se ahobambo sem de obemma ne dimu ankasa e de amaga fo nyinara na sa bohye no e na ban no edi so no.
Under the able and dynamic and visionary leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has lived up to the expectations in this regard. Ghana continues to enjoy a good reputation as a peaceful and safe country with an enviable international image as an oasis of peace. The recent data shows that we are the second most peaceful country in Africa and the most peaceful country in West Africa. Under the able and dynamic and visionary leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has lived up to the
expectations. Haji Dr. Mamudu Bawumia ono ena wakasa no na ye to akase no so dia yemfa nkopie mu ewo etefe atoye mantemo Upper West region ne ho ene yedo ekwa akopie mu na impeso so abato a ekoso efiefie abato a womo eto eye osonko kwama nyuko no a womo eyi mpanifo ahodo a mbeda impeso so ahodo ne nyina abo adwuma na boa na amanyuko no esanso atena aban mu no eno abato na ekoso ewo etefe atoye mantem no ena babeto dwa se eye constituency chairman mako nsia me no kase eyade a yahwe wo monto ase eye akonwa papa je se enye asemketwa ukopie mu ewo wa central abato mpeso asodia na je se imprempren dwemtreni wo honom ani dindi Ali wono eyade a wopani Osman Hamid watimi ahwe ne to akonwa je se wayi no edi abofom kra enye asemketwa na abra wo to abai ewieye na Osman eye Hamid wodi nsem bi atudwa wo kyerem se ewo mu se wadi nkunim de na so nkunim de no enye ono nkwa ne de eyamanyoko no nyina ede nti wo ka kyerɛ de awaba begyetum no ede efre ne nsa se wone no enkambo no munye adwuma se na beye a ntu nkunim de mapa ebetimi aye NPP amanyoko no ede na wono ene maame ba akwan prempren wono so yetimi ato aba ede amano se eye women organizer ewo ho no wone ne mienu eka bom ene incentrefo ekasaye.
I'm not surprised at all. I saw it coming.
Sure. Why do you think that you would have won this election?
Yes, I've been with this constituency for almost 20 years today, and I've been the grassroots man. Almost every election that I've contested in this constituency, I've always come up as the top. So I believe I will make it, and God being so good, I've really made it. I think that has always been my message ever since I started the campaign, to unite this party. First, information flow. We are going to disseminate information so that everybody in the party, in the constituency, will be privy to every information that is coming in and coming out. The next thing is to unite the party. All the other contestants that are contested and have lost, they should take it that this is an in-house fight.
In the women's wing, they don't normally share information to them. As a new elected member, I'll always share information, mobilize them and empower them with skills, because I have a skills training center. So I'll be moving around all the electoral areas, meeting women, training them, feeding them the party information.
Wamo akasa wie pepepe ukopie mo ewo wa central honom NPP amanyoko no eye nkitahudie kwan kyerefo honom eyopani Ali Bukari wono so edi nsensei etimi editudwa.
It came as a surprise to many, but not surprise to other people. because this is a game of politics. It's a game of campaign, a game of chances. And so one would argue that those who lost probably didn't do their own work very well. Maybe complacency, maybe their opponent's campaign more vigorously than they did. And so what is important is that all those who won have been vetted and approved by the party to contest. So they are executives that have been elected. So the surprises are there, but a lot of us are not surprised at all in politics when people are booted out the way they have. I think that by and large, we have executives in place in the 11 constituencies in the region. A lot of people would have loved to be in the position, but the constraints of the constitution has it that the people that are supposed to be elected for each constituency are 10 people. And so the 10 people have been determined. Per the constitution, they are mandated to appoint 7 other people to augment their effort. That will make it 17 people constituencies. So we will urge that they will extend a hand of invitation to those who lost. They should, celebrate and jubilate in moderation so that it does not hurt the sensibilities and feelings of those who lost. It came as a surprise.
Dear course, so Upper West region, NPP Amanyuko no, Omabato Omotu and Senyano, and Monsem, and the Yetime Abo Ede Amawono. And I will treat mono, and I beto Jasa Okopimo, Ewa Santimante swap for you, Nyam Simon, or Semen San, or the Sembi Ebetuja. Nisama walking in any say a yam. What is ansem na eyene bufu na ne buafu yie papa sembe na wo chemu se amafo kakata hye produum kankan no mo si amanyofo abreko a obepie mu ewo man Ghana mu a eye man Ghana ye population about 70%. The woman nyina eye Christopher na wonna wo da de brahodo ni nyina no ewo aban mo nso no wo nyina ekọ asori wo from hu Christopher inti eba ne sen na se ye kakata hye produum kankan ye se amanyofo nkwan na do kru wo mo inti wono de emra so se Ghana for ye be jesa akasa hunu na eya ye kasa ye de susu wo mo amanyofo no na asemo yi beto dwanom e kan bia ye se Christopher bebre wo mo assembly ankoye amfa ma wo mokra the saint no executive director Edima Alliance for Christian Advocacy Africa mrebi atwemu nso na wo ye Christian Council chairman wo Omaigan Reverend Dr. Kobna Oponifrimpon wo chiremu se sasema wo mo kan no no de wo betimi akanyina enesem eye Christopher asori no ene wo mo asofo no wo mo di ombaye nyina enese wo betimi akyerɛkyerɛ eye asafo manese yesi menye se yesi menye se enti se wo mo kyerɛkyerɛ wo mo eye wo mafamu de kyerɛkyerɛ wo se yesi menye se ne de ne koto de brebia no no ko ye nyeme bia ensem fata afa de akwakoye aban nankasa na sɛde se asotwe biere wo no won fama sa ne kro no na money influence se wo ye Kristo ni enti no wo mo eno mantiti ni ye wo mo na mo amfa kyerɛkyerɛ pa amfa amma no yenkohwe.
I must say that when we talk about the place or the role of the church in the fight against corruption, we must put it into proper context. Now, the church, yes, pursue Christian education, discipleship, making, hoping that we will build up our members in matters of morality. What we must understand quickly is that when it comes to law enforcement, the church doesn't have the backbone. What the church does is admonishing people, do the right things. It is true that some members will listen to the teachings of the church and do the right thing. However, if we get some church members who, for whatever reason, decide not to be law-abiding, you don't go back to the church. You go to the law enforcement agency. When the regional minister said in the room that he doesn't sign check, and therefore, if it comes to corruption, we must go for the technocrats, I ask myself, what is his supervisory role? What does it mean to have the police, the CID, all the institutions that must be able to know that somebody is doing something untoward and bring them to book? And he pursuing that the report we receive at Parliament from
the Auditor General, the district chief executives in his region are brought to book. What is his role? I was sitting behind him and I kept my thought to myself, but to some large extent, I disagree with him. The church does not enforce laws. Our leaders, the political parties, must be willing to disown their members who are into corruption. If we focus on the church for the corruption fight, it seems to me we are not serious as a nation with the corruption fight. I must say that when we talk about...
She was also added to just say, "I sorry no, womu ye uma fomu de biera so mbe to me, sene be ya, katashe prejum kankan nyeme bia ekoso a enye no, womo ebeso ni nyina ano. Aka se aban nankasa ne amanyuko nankasa so behwe se nkrofo ni fuma imra no behwe na ne womo edi ni yie."
That is to me the challenge we must address. We have political leaders that see corruption outside their circles. Corruption is in their opponent, their enemies, among themselves. You know, and normally when they are in opposition, they see corruption. When they are in power and government, they see themselves as angels, and the enemy is out there. We as a church or Christian body, yes, must continue teaching, but even whether those in government, those in power are prepared to listen to the church when it comes to matters of corruption, whether they don't fight back, they want to hear what they want to hear. But that is what the church must avoid. The church must speak truth to power. Now when we are in election and we are having cheating and we are having violence, we don't go back to church. You talk about the managers of the country. You talk about managers of election. You talk about state institutions, security. You don't talk to church. When we have governments that are signing contracts, recently in Europe, you find a whole prime minister in UK that during COVID, he broke the law. He has been fined. I am praying and hoping to see government that would disown their own and allow their own to be punished. If you are not ready to do that, you don't go and find excuses and hide behind church. Faith-based organizations that can only admonish. So the church must not quickly accept the language the politicians are, throwing about. You have failed. They have failed. Corruption is among them, and they are covering their own. I pray and hope that parties, MPP campaign on corruption. Now let us see how they fight their own, not their opponents.
All right.
Now they are among themselves. You see angels.
And was so added to just a Christoni. Senyamia sem etinimwa, one funny home and cosheshe, a catashe prejum cancan home. Into one now, one more did say, you manager say, Christo Summan, I was in Yamiasam, a catchroman, one more funny ye was see. System need a yaripa, young.
It depends on what you put into that concept enough. I go to church every Sunday. I teach my members. Some will obey and go out and do what they have heard. That is church. Jesus says, those who have ears, let them hear. Others will go out and like any children, parents will tell you, when you go out, don't do this, do that. Some will go out, do what parents have asked them to do. Others will go out and do the opposite. I expect that those who do the opposite, the system will correct them. I expect that those who enforce laws, they are driving roughly on our roads. Now you have political party MPP during constituency election. And look at what is going on. If they are Christians, they must arrest them. It has nothing to do with church. They are breaking laws. Arrest them, punish them. If government officials, whether they are church elders or whatever, are breaking laws, punish them. That has nothing to do with the church. So the church is doing enough. But enough depends on who you talk to. The politicians who are hiding behind something, they want something to hide behind, who want to push the blame on the church. But church people must speak truth to power. They must tell that to them, that you signed a contract. You are awarding all the galamsey thing you are saying. It's not pastors who are doing it. You are doing. You know your people who are involved. You know all those who leave office and carry all the vehicles and other things. Now we say we have 12 billion cedis from the Auditor General's. Go and chase them. They are your people. If they are not prepared to do, it's just
Yakobna Opuni Frimpon wono ena wakasano. Ye twan sem no so de wakakopie mo ewa santimante mo bia ye for ho eye akokyere zongo. Eho ena ba beto dwa se chief imam wo ho nom no. Wode nsem bi eto dwa edana womo wie wo makomkye ewieye jese ina makomakon adunu enkron edikopem eduasa akomkye a womo eyeye no na ewieye no womo ebodwa data ebompaye edi omaiga na ehyenyankopon san edi asanteman ehyenyankopon san esanso efa so de adesede edi ato aban no enem se wonhwe womo ekirem a okopiem ewo ho no magalam se eyade ha womo papa enu adwuma ni adwuma imebru no womo de wo ho ehyem na womo to amena no nso a womo ensi ebe kwakọ wiekye na obi akwakotom owuo na jese watonanum ewonsie do womo si enye nonkon afenso de obepiemu ewo ho no ba bia sebi womo didi wi ombeje omunanpo womo enibi womo ofaso de adesede ede ma ban ne se wohwe ne won beye omumwa
afi eze fitirin ayekra behwe cause omami nyina ebihyasie 29 ebihyasie 30 ebiye kusiara ebiye memenda ni nyina yakabum ebiye omudi endura ende the national chief imam kan no ye nyina abumu abagunu nda benada enti ye da law say asise oman yankonimdie na onyi adiboni bia mfiri oman mu ha wo ma yakure ne embrante awo akokere zongo na galemse na enum kuye no enum kuye ekono yankopo emanam embrasi na enkoda wu omututu aminam wu ebinum ko hye me na ku wo mu ubedi akira ye bahir no mu ko adicha no masaba enti yesra ban akokeru zongo ehuna mane wonfam onsimu dinamai na bibia nkoso na ave ade ahia wa akokeru zongo ye bibia ya kom bibia nye toilet kura boy toilet esi was said e kom fie duonu me no nko anesia ye nibi ye mrantie na ebo mo hommode esi agina ebo mina se de be ya ye ne ye nkwada ye ho betoye
di okasa sesia eye chief Bawa Hassan na wono kasa wie pepe chief imam wono ewo akokyere honom no wono nso ekasa ye wo kyerɛkyerɛ eye ekremofo no ese se ye momaye akomkyiri ewie sei no umukwa akɔkya ade enya ade enye ene ye de kye ne mu no hwɛ sa ade a wo de kwa akɔkya obi no eye ade ye de brewa wankasa nso wani ebegye ho
se efudia ye dia eye ye goda ye wo ye da ma ye wo nyina no wo se die be fa papa so ayi de yino wo se ye fa sa papa de no e fa ya do e ma afufro e wo so la ta ye ma mul hadisa minhu tofikuna na mo men fa nye enye wo de nu ye yempe en fa ya sadaka e ma obi ana ye fa ye yima obi se we de enye mempe emu hiame entina mi ye sadaka Allah sideli sana ma ye se o so bi ba ofie enko edia na wo mana un se dia no edie mempe o mu fetio we mba me ma o mu deri inta Allah se walatum bi aizi illa tadmidu fi wa kana dia na wo ma o bi no se wa ka san ye di mawa jisa o ka ta woni ansa na waje nyakopo o bi amobo والسيدان ما فهموا بي الديانيا الله سي وسلستم بآخته وكسن سيدانو أيينا ويمو بينو سيد موا لستم بآخته نيا بيا وبتمياجي إلا أن تدمدوا فيه جدا وكتوني أنسان وتمياجي bimana agena odi mawuya
entino chief imama wono ewo akokyere zongo asante mantemu formula constituency honom abra womo ewi omo akomchi nyina na producer papa wokopie mu ewo honom eye yaya salifu ekopie mu ewo hono wode sansem nyina amane boy nyina etimi ede ebrege ye gina wo mo nsemu iso ne na no pe ka se ye de bre wo no ye mfa ne nyina emfensi hanom yeda se se wonya bre ne adaje na wo hwe XTV ya no pa no nsia kase de gina camera na chi emame eye DJYX Samson ena Faith eta na chi se pintim na okopie bu ewo MC a ho nso de eye law ene twa me etu mu abra Bismarck nso eta na chi me producer eye Stephanie wono ene ye me producer executive producers ene na just appointment offense no openi samituga me making kind ma wonso eye oba pa me visa kosiata me so dia good mu nsem aye krado me nua be ma microphone ata wa ye krado awodi ebro ntitemu kuchu na twe no me da se emomu ene hwe